of the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
I mean, I went for titties, came back with attempted murder. I, I don't know what's going on in the world.
I mean, it's depending on whose titties you're seeing. Then, I mean, yeah, it
Oh,
could.
oh man, it was some bad burlesque. I mean, I'm just telling everybody now. Lucha Vavoom is it? I mean, this is the second time I went, but is it? We will discuss later.
Well, it was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed um, Dilios on Monday, Bam Bam Quaid on Tuesday, and Dean Allmark on Wednesday. Three incredible, unique individuals, incredible interviews. Could definitely not recommend all of those interviews enough. Go into the archives and check them out. This upcoming Tuesday, we have referee DC all the way from Norway. Um, we talk refereeing in Norway, Denmark, Germany, working for WXW, and a couple more things as well. Interesting interview from somebody from a place that we've only had one other interview. And then on the third, Wednesday, we have Jay Alexander from the Reality of Wrestling neck of the woods. We talk about Reality of Wrestling, Wrestling Zilla Fatu for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, some of the inner workings of that match. He's currently injured right now. We kind of talk about that, weightlifting, his mind space right now. We talk about dancing with Thunder Rosa. We talk about some interesting names he's been in the ring with. We talk Funko Pops and Lord of the Rings, which he's never talked about on a pro wrestling podcast. So you definitely want to go and check all of that out. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now.
He gives us the cue, he comes out. So I hightail it out and do. When I tell you, I turn that corner and you see those tens of thousands all the way up. I mean, you just go black, right? You're so excited. Your adrenaline is through the roof. I don't think I've ever run faster. And my shoes weren't tied, right? That's just the way I had my that's why I like how I like my style. So I slid in the ring and I went to get up. Well, how I planted my left foot was kind of off, and so my shoes are knitted, right? They're like the Adidas NMD knits,
Okay.
so it slid right off my foot. And so I went to take that step, and I almost kind of like tripped and fell, but like I managed to catch myself. Well, Rhea was right there, so I just grabbed the waist, whatever I could grab. Well, ironically, my face was right on her ass, right when I grabbed her, but he was only there momentarily because.
And then on the night we have Verdugo. On the 10th we have Erica Damia, and on the 16th we have Xavier Gotti. So things are heating up for Wrestling Wit as we enter September, and coming closer to 5 years of interviews as well. Um, it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And it was not a good week if your name was Stu or Raja or AJ. Basically, if you were in the Southern California area and was a pro wrestler, yeah, it was not a good week for you. Um, for anybody that's unaware, last Saturday, Knox Pro, the school under Rikishi, held an event. Um, in attendance of this show was Reja Jackson, who is the son of Rampage Jackson, the MMA wrestler. The MMA fighter, I should say.
Oh, he was a wrestler. He not that kind of wrestler, but wrestling in high school. Fun fact: I wrestled with him in high school. So this hits home a little bit for your boy.
But I mean, what happened isn't necessarily, a joking matter. There was, I believe he was invited by somebody. I could be wrong by that. He had a camera crew with him. He got into a conflict with a wrestler named Psycho Stu earlier in the day in their locker room, which was just a parking lot. Stu confronted Roger. Obviously, he saw the cameras, thought he could, kind of get himself over. There was nothing. He did he did hit him in the Roger in the head with a beer can. But I mean, it didn't seem like it did any damage. Like, he was walking, is the best way to describe it. People tried to pull Stu away, stating he's not a walker. Don't try and walk with him. Yada yada. Somewhere between that confrontation and Stu's match later that night, it was somebody from Knox Pro came to Raja and said, do you want to make this a work? Do you want to get, quote unquote, a receipt on Stu and maybe get some publicity or, get some, media attention from this? And oh boy, did it get media attention for sure. Raja entered the ring during Stu's match. He did a double leg takedown on him. I'm more than sure that double leg knocked Stu unconscious, because then Raja then proceeded to get on top of Stu and started whirling away on him, punching him repeatedly. He was unconscious. It's clear that he's unconscious because, keep in mind, all of this is on video. All of this is video evidence of it. He repeatedly attacked Stu until one of the students for Knox Pro decided to step in and try and pull Raja off of Stu. Also, keep in mind that young student was only 17. So if thank God Roger didn't hit him, but that would have been a whole ordeal in itself if he did. He did enough, I suppose, until more wrestlers obviously got privy of what was actually happening. Jumped in the ring. Low-key, credit to the guy with the purple and pink dreadlocks, because, he really held Raja back out of everybody. But yeah, Stu went to the hospital, was unconscious for some time, was in critical condition at one point. So, I mean, I just gave, a lot of information right now. I will say this before we go any further. Stu is conscious. Stu is okay right now. He is, I believe he's still in the hospital. I could be wrong. But, yes, Stu is okay in the end. But, everything that I just said out of my mouth seems so wrong to actually say, because this was so mismanaged and misguided, and there was so much ignorance put into this. It could have not ended badly between Raja and Stu and Knox. But like I said a lot of words. You say something now, Kaliko.
I mean, when I got wind of this story, and when I saw the video, I was like, "Oh shit!" Because and everybody's gonna be like, "Well, how come you're more involved?" I mean, it hits home a little bit to me because it's like I went to high school with Rampage Jackson, so I understand his aspect of it as a father. I also understand the Knox Pro side of it because I've been to a handful of shows. I've Psycho Stu, stand up dude. Um, got to meet him at a couple of the shows um, with a couple of other talents. Because the one thing I liked about Knox Pro is that they would do like an intermission, and you could kind of like meet, talk to the wrestlers and kind of relax and chill, get to know them, on a personal level. So I like that about him. I had some interactions with him. He was pretty cool. Um, I have an associate who actually wrestles at Knox Pro, and he was one of the people who is catching hell because he actually called the police. So it's it, it's crazy that it even happened because of the fact that he hopped that fence so quick.
There was no fence.
I knew.
There
No,
was
it
no.
was a little railing. No, the railing. He hopped the railing.
I didn't see a railing. I just saw that his chair was literally front row, and he
Oh
just
no, he
literally
hopped it.
he walked in the ring.
Oh no, the one I saw, he hopped it. He just hopped it, and then he jumped in, and I knew it was over when he slammed the receiver in ramp. Those jumps, and I'm telling you right now, it is not a joke. Um, One thing that bothered me is the fact that the ref, because the first punch, I'm like, yo, that ain't supposed to happen. And you could just see the ref was just sitting there like not knowing what to do. And I think that to me was like the disappointing part because he froze.
Because the ref is
And
supposed to
to
be the
me, that
person
was
that steps in when stupid shit like that happens to begin with.
exactly. So that was my first initial because I'm talking about he's just going hard on him, and I'm like, what are they doing? What the hell are they doing? Like, why is he not helping? So I saw the guy came in and tried to put him in a power driver or whatever the case may be. But it shouldn't even have been that far because the ref should have been the first person when he sees a person not in the show hop in the thing and start doing that. And I've been to those shows, so I know exactly like etiquette. I've been to a Knox Pro show, so I can and Knox Pro, I I could have swore he hopped the railing, but I've been to a Knox Pro, and I'm not saying I've been to Knox Pro shows where the front row is literally clear. So,
Right.
but even then, I mean, I've sat front row at Knox Pro shows, and I know good damn well not to get my ass up and go. And then you have the interaction that's happening on the internet with certain wrestlers and how they feel about it, um, and how people feel about it. Because one, should Psycho Stu have done that? No.
No.
Did Psycho Stu think he was one of the talent? Because obviously he's in the back. You just don't allow anyone in the back,
Especially
right?
with cameras. He had a camera crew with him.
Right. So he's out here doing IRL streaming, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what? So one, I mean, usually locker rooms are way more strict. I remember I went to a Compton Mania show. The backs just to get backstage to get because I had a trash can that I wanted autographed that they used. They didn't even let me go within 10 feet of the backstage. So that tells me, I don't know how loose that backstage was that night, because usually Knox Pro, you kind of know where you are, especially considering, Rikishi's there and no one's really going to go out of pocket. So that's what made me wonder, was Rikishi there? Was any of his siblings there? It's a lot of more questions and answers. Who allowed him to come backstage? What wrestler even brought him backstage? What was the whole deal? And then, not to mention, that happened. That shouldn't, because the thing is, even though Psycho Stu did it and technically he was in the wrong, it wouldn't have been a thing if he didn't have access backstage.
And another thing is, there's a difference between, getting somebody that kind of, let's say, low-key punked you, and then, attempted murder.
Well, that part, and I also look at the fact that I saw there was a video that they said that they ended up being cool,
yes.
Right? So once that happens, he thinks it's done. So if, as a human being, if I apologize and you take it, the assumption is, okay, it's over.
Right.
To go back and go, oh no, give him the receipt, that's where it's also wrong.
So
yeah,
continue.
Because they also were like, give him the receipt. And here's the thing: if they were going to make that into a work, he was the last one to know.
Yeah.
And that's the other part of it. Because if they knew it was going to be a work, you would think the person taking the punch would be the first person to know.
I mean, you would think. So, like you said, supposedly, and I have not seen it, there is video footage of Stu apologizing to Raja, because obviously Raja is not a worker. He said apparently he apologized, thought they were cool. It seemed, from what I hear, it seemed like Raja accepted the apology. From that point, that's where this other individual joins the conversation, and that is AJ Mana. Supposedly, he talked to Raja sometime between then and him going into the ring, and wiled him up and provoked him into getting his, as they say, receipt on Stu. As of right now, I saw AJ was fired from Knox Pro, because he is being affiliated with the attempted murder case on Raja, because the police were involved in this. There is an investigation going on. This individual, AJ Mana, is a part of it. Again, it's attempted murder. As of right now, Raja is not incarcerated. I mean, he honestly should be. I mean, if you see that video footage as a police officer, wouldn't you say we need to lock this person up? But, the American,
But it also reminds me of, though, Dark Side of the Ring, when Bruiser Brody got murdered, and the cops couldn't tell whether it was a work or not. Now clearly we know it's not a work. I think that it's a pending investigation. I don't think they're just going to straight up arrest him, because they got to figure out the, it's the court of public opinion is pushing this rather than the court of law. So we just got to let them play it out, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to deal with the proper people as as they should. I have a lot more faith in it. I just think they're trying to gather as much accurate information, because keep in mind, I told you only one person gave a statement about what happened that night, and it was the person that called the cops. That wrestler that was backstage that called the cops. So they're working off footage in one statement, to be quite honest.
So that and Knox Pro did say to to their talent, don't talk to the cops. If somebody asks you, don't talk to the cops. I mean,
which to me is the craziest thing ever, because as a wrestling company, you're responsible for these people's lives. Their lives are in your hand.
I mean, you're not wrong, and it's such a bizarre thing to happen. And in 2025, where we're kind of we're kind of getting past the wild west days of pro wrestling, and the outlaw mudsos and all of that. And for some dumb shit like this to happen, especially considering that it was a WWE ID'd school. It is no longer a WWE ID school. They pulled that right the day after, when all of these allegations came out, and there's an attempted murder case and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I mean, rightfully so, and I think it's because it just showed irresponsibility on all fronts. What I mean, the fact he was backstage, that was out of pocket in the first place. Because all of this would have been avoided had he not been backstage. Now, if he was in the parking lot and this happened, we might be talking a different tune. But the fact that he went into their realm, so the assumption is that you're one of the guys. That's why I don't, it's like me walking in an NBA locker room in the middle of an NBA game.
Right.
I'm walking into an environment that got no business being there.
Right.
And that to me is the ultimate. So the wrestler that allowed him to who even gave him access to that, needs to be handled quick. With the quickness.
For the most part, everybody condemned these actions by Raja.
Except Mark Henry.
I was getting to it. Most notably, JBL, Jim Cornette, the big dogs when it comes to, podcasting. But, Mark Henry, I don't want to say that he defended it, but he was definitely not, as as strict on Raja as other people had been.
Because he's coming from a perspective of somebody put your hands on you, which I get. I get that perspective he's trying to get, but the issue is that wouldn't have happened had he not been in a spot that he got no business being in.
I believe that he said something similar, as well. And RVD surprisingly wasn't against it either. Which kind of disappoints me, considering RVD, one of the most beloved and chill guys that's known in pro wrestling.
Because they're looking at it from a defense stance instead, which I get. I get the point that I get it. Don't put your hands on anybody. That is an overarching that's the overall message, and that can be true, and it also can be true. Motherfucker, what are you doing back here? Because if you were back there, you wouldn't have no business. You would none of this would have went down.
Oh yeah.
So what you know what I'm saying? It's like I mean, if my kid went to go yank like he loves Logan Paul, if he tries to go when Logan Paul does the backflip and he tries to go down and touch him in the middle of him, like after doing the backflip, whatever happens to him, that's on him because he made the choice to get back there, to be back there.
Right.
Granted, that doesn't mean that he should be he should be privy to what happens, but you also got to understand, like, it's easy. He could have been like, I'm not one of the wrestlers. I'm just here to promote. That's to me the other thing too. There was no communication whatsoever between all of it. It just felt like a bunch of dudes in the back, just like kind of having this, letting it go because chats, and the fact that the fact that Raja is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt him for real for 50 subs. I will hurt him for real. So essentially, and I think that's gonna kill him because that's on film and that's. That shows intent, so it's gonna come. His day's coming. It's just the fact that it's just a damn shame. It's truly a damn shame.
Most notably, somebody that commented on this whole incident is Rampage Jackson himself. He did condemn his son's actions, and he also condemned Knox Pro for putting his son in that situation to begin with.
See?
he said his son is not a pro wrestler. He does not work pro wrestling, and why he was even considered for that role is just dumb. And he said he was also a couple days prior to that had a concussion. So he should have not been doing anything physical to begin with. He also stated that, Knox Pro should not have put him in that situation, that it was ignorant on their part, considering all of these factors, and that he does hope, and he did hope that Psycho Stu did get better and he made a full recovery. So, Rampage Jackson, covering all the bases.
He basically said what I said. I mean, but it's stupid for Knox Pro to, and everybody can say, yeah, the receipt and don't hit nobody. But if you are somebody who is associated with the WWE ID, you have a standard now that you have to meet at all times because all eyes are on you.
Don't fuck up.
That affiliation is fucking you up. And then keep in mind, they could have picked any wrestling school on the West Coast, and they picked yours?
Well, I mean, we know why it was picked. I mean, it's the Samoan
We know
dynasty.
why. It's the Samoan dynasty. It's the Samoan thing. But that's where but to me that alone should have let the wrestlers who are in the program know that they are in a situation of very, very good fortune and to not do anything to fuck it up, not to fuck up the culture there. And that, to me, is a bigger issue. See, that's the biggest problem with me. It's a culture issue.
So, people want to put the blame. They're looking to see, who to put the blame on, who's to blame for this. And
The blame game. Yeah, everybody's
it's
playing
always a
blame
blame
game.
game. The facts are these. Everybody is to blame in this situation.
Yes, everybody got fault, and that's the problem. Everybody's looking at one person when all parts play. are to blame for this. Psycho Stu is to blame for putting your hands on somebody you ain't got nobody putting your hands on. Now I'm gonna say that didn't mean that he deserved what he got right there, but that kind of was a catalyst. And I hope that he has the fully speedy recovery, especially as a veteran. And considering that his story was basically wrestling saved his life, because PTSD is no joke when you're a combat veteran. And so I hook he's gets fully healed quickly,
Oh yeah.
although he is still at fault. Raja, you at fault for saying okay, we cool, and then going back on your word, and then going to get the receipt. If you had a problem with it, you should have addressed it like a human being and could have, because the talk out made it assume that it was done, that it was over with, and you decided to take that above your own head. Granted, you were tempted by AJ, who was at fault for even bringing up the fact that I'm going to make sure you get your receipt, which makes it seem like the locker room had an issue with him, or AJ had an issue with Psycho, because that's what it made it seem like. It seemed like he just got set up from jump.
I mean, that's a good possibility, but, there's a difference between getting a receipt and, I will say this, a receipt, the use of the word receipt is not used properly in a wrestling context in this scenario, but that's the word that kind of keeps getting brought up. And there's a huge difference between a receipt and attempted murder.
Well, here's the thing. It was I know the culture Raja is from, because I am of that culture. And the problem is when you think receipt, you think eye for an eye. When you're angry, you ain't thinking eye for an eye. You thinking I'm getting mine and then some. And that was the problem. See what I'm saying? So he got his receipt. He got his receipt and then some. It's the ref's fault for even letting the dude get in the ring in the first place. It's I mean, it is so many people that just everybody failed in this, and everybody's just trying to find a scapegoat when it's actually everybody holds culpability in this. It can be true that everybody is justified, but it also can be true that everybody is wrong.
Right. Knox Pro should be held, accountable for all of this. For it, because first and foremost, whoever put Roger into the back, whoever was at the head of that show running it, should have said, "Why the hell is this guy in the backstage? Get him out."
In the first place, because if it's like me going to the Knox Pro show and I've been to them and I just roll my ass, and I know exactly how they set the back up, depending on where their shows are. So it ain't like it's there, but it's not like you're just gonna go there, right?
Right. Then,
you have to kind of go out of your way to get there.
And second of all, Knox Pro should have stepped in when, if they didn't already step in when Roger was back there and say, this guy should not be back here, get him out. When Stu, maybe overstepped his bounds with Roger, okay, apologize to him, then get out. They should have never,
Exactly.
ever thought it was a good idea to put Reja Jackson, an MMA trained fighter, in a worked sport where he does not, where he has no training, no concept of what a work is, no concept of what a pulled punched is. Unless they trained him like 5 minutes before he went out there, but we could both agree 5 minutes is nowhere near the amount of time he needed to be trained to do anything that he should he did in that ring. And just honestly, shame on Knox Pro. Whoever said that it was a good idea for him to get in that ring. to begin with. It was it was ignorant. It was stupid, and now Nox Pro, Raja, and AJ Mana are facing the repercussions for that. I mean, to a lesser degree, Stu is too, because he was the brunt of all of this. He got the worst of it,
He got the worst of it. Yep.
and that's another thing. You mentioned it before. Protect your talent. They did not protect Stu. They for what they thought might be a good little bit of viral media, having Reja Jackson there, they put their talent at risk.
And their reputation at risk.
Yeah. Well,
That's the biggest. That's the biggest key, because now when you think of a person who has graduated from who think if you're a person that is literally on the cusp of graduating from that school to work in the indies.
I wouldn't even say that, but like, let's say maybe tomorrow I decided, hey, I want to train to become a wrestler. Well, am I going to want to train at Nox Pro, considering that they let one of their talent almost get murdered? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that a wrestling school could have is trust. You have to have trust and a good reputation, in order to attract students. When you break that trust and you have a bad reputation, it's you're not going to get, as we know, a WWE ID, which is now pulled.
Right. Because the WWID was literally the closest thing to guarantee you to get you to where you want to be ultimately, which is the WWE. And now with that, you're better off going East Coast. And especially if you're on the West Coast. And this is the other thing that I hate about it, because West Coast wrestling on the indie scene is, I'm not going to say it's sparse. I'm not going to say that it's not, that it's non-existent, because it's existed and it's all over the place. But being on the West Coast, you won't get as much pop as you would on an East Coast, because East Coast, it's easy to go from Philly to New York to Connecticut to Jersey to DC, because it's all within that range, right?
Right.
West Coast, it's really tough to go from San Fran to LA to Vegas to, you know what I'm saying? So it was really tough. It's really tough. So to get one of those was already like, you're the center of the, not only just California independent wrestling, but independent wrestling on the West Coast as a whole.
Right.
And that, to me, is the biggest disappointment of it all.
Well, I do hope. I mean, there are good wrestling schools in California. It's not
There are
exclusive to
really
Nox
good.
Pro. Most notably Millennium Pro Wrestling. I don't remember the exact location, but obviously I've interviewed the trainer there. Fantastic, cool guy. Definitely not going to put you in a situation where you're going to get murdered.
Mm.
And
Oh my God.
and Santino
And
Brothers. Obviously,
and
I could maybe make the argument that Santino Brothers is a bigger school than Nox Pro.
are you kidding me?
I mean, considering the amount of talent that came out of Santino Brothers compared, Ronda
Well,
Rousey
yes, yes,
trained at Santino Brothers.
yeah. I was doing some research. I just saw a uh Southern California Pro Wrestling, I guess the promotion, and I'm just reading it. I gotta verify it, but in a bold move, indie pro wrestling company Danger Pro books now infamous son of Rampage Jackson Raja for an upcoming event appearance at their event.
Fuck them.
So I have to verify this. I'm gonna do some research on it real quick, just to no, because I don't want to report anything and be like,
I will withhold my fuck you to them until that is verified.
hold on, I'm hitting the QR code, so
Yeah. But
the event is there.
well,
Hold on, but I just got to see, will he be at which show? And this is in San Diego in North Park, so I know exactly where the hell this is.
well, while you're pulling up that information, Level Up Pro Wrestling is also in San Diego.
Yeah, Level Up. I've heard of Level Up.
Head trainer is B-Boy. A lot of great people came out of Level Up as well. So,
there's another one in Chula Vista that's really good. But the thing is just that they don't get it, the exposure that they don't get because Rikishi's not in there. You know what I mean?
right.
Rikishi overshadows even like a show like Compton Mania. I love Compton Mania. I love them to death. And Paul London trains those dudes really, really well. But he's even overshadowed like by Rikishi because Rikishi A got the money, B he's got the heritage in the bloodline. So I'm not gonna say that it's almost kind of like they got a monopoly over it in a sense, just by name recognition, if that makes sense.
No, you're absolutely right. But unfortunately, you are right on one, point. California is a island all on its own when it comes to pro wrestling. While the East Coast is, you can't necessarily draw rock without it hitting a pro wrestling promotion. So
I mean, just think of it. Just think of it in terms of pro wrestling events, like even conventions where they meet wrestlers. It's
right.
like it's tough. It's tough. So it just makes the hard even harder.
So we should probably wrap this up with Knox Pro needs a very much needed renovation and maybe a more moral compass on their promotion. Get out of that corny mindset and more of a 2025 pro wrestling mindset. Reja Jackson needs to do some jail time for his actions because you can't just attempt murder on somebody, have it on
He needs to be
camera.
held accountable
You
legally.
need to be held
Yes.
accountable. And when that happens, hopefully it happens. Whether it happens or not is yet to be seen. Obviously he's son of a famous person, so justice always doesn't always get them. But I do hope that he does get the mental health um, help that he needs because he's clearly not all there mentally. Um, and hopefully he can learn from this experience. And if he is put into a situation similar to this in the future, that he could actually handle it like a normal human being and not the way that he actually
He
did.
doesn't wear pajamas. Just take your clothes off.
I don't think he should become a streaker, but he could do him. And then when it comes to Psycho Stu, thoughts and prayers. Hope he gets speedy recovery. I hope that this does not
end his career, but
and
it's gonna be a long road. Let's put it that way. An unnecessary long road.
Or discourages him from, wanting to make a comeback. Like I said, like you said earlier, he has, ex military, PST. I hope that he did
PTSD.
PST from, this moment.
PTSD. PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't trigger it. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. Hopefully it doesn't trigger what's already there. So it's especially considering like his story that wrestling was a safe haven for him. So now the only thing that was a safe haven is now kind of, and that's the bad part. Because now it's like, where does he go now?
And hopefully everybody could get their mental health in check and everybody could come out of this better rather than worse. Moral to the story, everybody needs therapy.
And don't go to the back if he ain't there. He ain't meant to be there.
Right.
I mean, that's the easiest way. Don't go in the back. Like, fun fact, I remember what was it? It was that was me with a wrestler at a meet and greet. That wasn't me going backstage. But even then, like me assuming it got me fucked up with Mark Henry nonetheless. But yeah. Took a mean chop from Mark Henry. Yeah,
Moving on in the news, we reported, WWE on ESPN. It's happening sooner rather than later. September, WrestlePalooza, yada yada. It was noted that during Stephanie McMahon's podcast, What's Your Story? One of her sponsors was a VPN. And during her promo to promote this VPN, more or less she basically said, use your VPN on Netflix so you can watch WWE PLEs there rather than on ESPN. WWE is encouraging bootlegging. This is not something that I had on my bingo card.
I mean, hey, they know the struggles. They understand the struggles, and they also, and give Stephanie that much. At least she's a sweetheart. I met her in person. She's a sweetheart. So if she can get you there, she'll get you there. You gotta give her props for that. Shit. If there's nothing else, you gotta give her that much. Like, shit, at least she's trying. Like,
do you think it's WWE telling her, prompting her to make these statements, or do you think that she just kind of went rogue and said, don't pay $30, just get this $10 VPN and you're good to go?
Nah, because I think most people are thinking that anyway.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
It's not.
So, if this became the official WWE VPN to counteract the ESPN deal that obviously, TKO is going to be excited about, it's a weird thing, but it's also very interesting as well, I would say.
Yep. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, hey, you gotta give her that much.
Yeah. Good on Steph. Doing the Lord's work.
Doing Lord's work indeed.
Not doing the Lord's work is a one Becky Lynch. During her promo on Raw, in Birmingham, I was gonna say Alabama, England. She brought up Ozzy Osbourne, who was a resident of Birmingham. Her her comments were not kind towards Ozzy, which prompted his daughter to actually complain to actually call out Becky Lynch, saying, "How dare you do that? That was very disrespectful." It's not a work because in that post, Becky Lynch was not technically tagged. A, a fan page of Becky Lynch was tagged, which prompted that page to get some hate, which prompted the page to be claimed, "I'm not actually Becky Lynch. I'm just a fan page for Becky Lynch. Her actual page is this."
Exactly. Oh Lord. I mean, it's always something, right? Becky catching strays ain't even there. Hey, I mean, these people are posting stuff and just trying to get people's attention. So, I mean, just gotta dig 3 layers deep sometimes because some people just see the headline and think, oh, go with it, right? So.
Right. I think, I will say that her comments weren't necessarily the best of taste, but I mean, I don't think that Ozzy would have cared. He had done he had done things with WWE before. He knew how it worked. Back in
Right, and I would think that and that's the thing too, because you can't. This is the problem when it comes to wrestling. You can't scream keep kayfabe alive, and then when they act kayfabe in real life, you put it against them.
Right.
And that's the biggest hurdle because it's like, well, wrestling's dead because they're all on there. Even if they stay in character in real life, in this cancel culture era, holy shit, you know what I mean? I'm surprised that JF ain't been canceled like 5 times. But that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we can't be that. We got to be able to be like, okay, us as fans, we either are going to respect the fact that they're keeping it in character regardless, or we just going to let them, or get rid of it altogether and start from scratch. But what we can't do is both. They won't be able to be Becky Lynch on just on the camera and then off. It's like, okay, whatever. It's just no matter.
I mean, it was only a promo it was a promo in the ring. I mean, she was so I mean, it wasn't like she was doing like an interview with any Jabroni Joe. So I mean, I think it's fine. I'm sure that she apologized privately to the Osbourns if need be, but I think it's just something that kind of got blown out of proportion for no reason. Obviously Ozzy just died not but a month ago, so people are grieving. Nerves are still raw. I get it.
Right. So I mean. But it's still, though, we as fans kind of go, oh, well, that's too far. And it's like, and we just got to either enjoy it or not. But we can't dictate how the stuff should be said to us or how they say the promo. We want them to be authentic until they're somewhat authentic. And we're like, oh, and that's the biggest problem.
That will conclude our coverage of the news this week. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE NXT Heatwave. Took place last Sunday in Lowell, Massachusetts at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. There's no attendance attached to this, but let's see if there's a capacity to this bitch. Capacity is 2,800. So let's assume it was somewhere around there. Yeah, and I do think that this was. I mean, it wasn't their best paid PLE, but I think that it did the job that it needed to do to set up what they're going to do next month. I believe the next PLE is No Mercy. So this was more of let's set everything up so rather than, the blow off so. And I think that they delivered that. At least. What say you, Kaliko?
Well, yeah, they're just trying to set it. Well, they had to do certain things twofold because they had to set up one, not just their show for No Mercy, but kind of blending in on the TNA front, trying to get them some kind of a spark heading into their biggest pay-per-view bout for Glory. So.
Right.
It was kind of a twofold era. So, yeah, they did what they needed to do.
Well, let's get into it. We have a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Lola Vice defeated Jada Parker, Miss Parker, and Kalani Jordan in 11 minutes and 53 seconds. Pretty good opener. Whenever Lola's on my screen, I'm not complaining. So,
I bet you're not.
So yeah, definitely the right person won. I think that it was done in the right way as well because I don't want to say it keeps Jada Parker strong, but it keeps Jada Parker complaining. Which is, like the Drew McIntyre.
Her best role. Because she's not angry, she's justified.
Correct. So, and it solved that. So I think that was the way that it was structured. The outcome was literally the best way they could have done it. But what say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, the right person won, especially with JC Jane being the heel. So it wouldn't have made sense for Jada Parker to win. It was going to be either Kalani or Lola. And considering that Lola is getting a lot of the shine from the work with the AAA and and worlds collide. So yeah, it just keeps her momentum going. So yeah, the right person won. The person who's got the most shine and momentum.
Yeah. How many stars you give this one?
I mean, I'm not gonna ever get. I mean, me personally, when there's women in the ring, especially like, well, Kalani's taken now, so I can't. But but a solid. No, I give it like a 3.25. It's a good 3.25 match. Because it's the girls, and they always are going to get people into it. You know, hey, Miss Barker.
I give it I give it 5 stars. Lola Vice was in it.
Damn.
Lola Vice was in
Oh
it.
yeah,
That
never
gives it
mind.
4 stars.
Jesus Christ.
Lola Vice won. Extra star. 5 stars.
Oh God, Jesus. 5 stars
Yes, for Lola
just
Vice.
for that.
You know,
Holy shit! I need.
Uncle Dave has his favorites. James J has his. So,
I see. Starting to notice. Oh gosh.
speaking of Uncle Dave, was
Uncle
his
Uncle Jave. Oh God. Anyway.
was Uncle Dave still in a coma from all of the fantastic pro wrestling from Forbidden Door that he didn't rate the show, or did he actually wake up in time to review this?
Oh, we will get to that Forbidden Door, but as far as this one, yeah, he got into it. He put his little spin on it.
Okay, I'm gonna
He
say
gave his rating. It's so that means it is another week, and we are going back to back because we know we got Forbidden Door coming.
mhm.
With guess that rating.
I'm gonna say 3,
Lower.
2 and 7/5.
2 and 7/5.
Okay.
Look at you starting off. You're starting to figure out his tendencies when it comes to
I
the
kind of
WWE.
I kind of feel like the first matches I'm always taking the temperature of it's to kind of feel out where he's going with this. So yeah, obviously I'm a little bit more on tune with Dave right now. All right, NXT Tag Team Championship match: Dark State, Dion Lennox and Oasis Griffin defeated Honk and Tonk in 10 minutes 16 seconds. Dark State, your new NXT Tag Team Champions. I do feel like this. I mean, it was an okay match. I mean, a lot of gaga, a lot of interference. Um, I feel like they're kind of beating a dead horse when it comes to Dark State. Like, they want it to work so badly, and it's clearly, drowning slowly, in my opinion. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I would assume that this is kind of their last ditch efforts to make it work. Um, I don't feel like it was worth it to, take the titles off of Hank and Tank for it, but, I digress. What say you, Kaliko?
It gives them momentum, and the problem is they need people to chase, especially considering that in their championship status right now. It's a lot of chase. Well, other than Obafemi, who just seems like undeniable Thanos, but everyone else seems beatable in the chase. So it keeps people intrigued and wanting to see who can take them, and it opens the field, if you will. Now, I don't think Hank and Tank should have lost because it makes no sense of giving them the titles just to take it off. Um, you had them go through, they just got them. So it's like, okay, what was the point then?
Right. I'm gonna
So, I
say
mean,
this.
that's the only bad thing about it.
I will say this: there aren't necessarily a lot of viable tag team competitors, to go up for the tag team titles. I mean, I could make the argument the only reason Fraxium was as tag team champions as long as they were was because there was legitimately no other tag teams that could, take
Yes,
them.
they were they damn near the longest rated tag champions because they were the only tag team in the fucking roster. Legit tag team, not the two single motherfuckers put together.
Right. So, I mean, this is going to have to be a problem that I hope that they fix soon, bringing in, more tag teams rather than more cake for the bakery. But
I mean, but the cake is getting the asses in the seats. Ain't nobody coming to see it. Hey, I'm sorry. Don't get me. I love Hank and Tank, but when Vacure was there was Vacure and everyone else. That was about.
I mean, that 6-woman tag team on NXT this week, the greatest main event of NXT ever of all time. I think that match may have trumped my love for Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25.
Oh gosh,
Chef's kiss.
no! Goddamn whole bakery out there. He had the dozen out there.
The baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen. God damn it! See.
How many stars you give this one?
2.5 because I just don't think Dark State should have won. I get if any time they should have won it was when they were super hot, like when they first got there and they were mad hot. But now it just seems like like you said, it just seems like they're just trying to hold on to something. Because Dark State it's not as mysterious as it once was.
I get it. They wanted to make a shield out of these 4 guys. Nobody gave a shit. And now they're just kind of trying to salvage what they can.
Well, because it was 4 WWE guys. Because it was 4 WWE guys instead of 2 indies and a WWE guy. Because everybody knew Rollins and Ambrose. Everybody knew their history, and they were able to be the indie darlings that everybody kind of fawned over. There was nobody there to fawn over.
I mean that, and I mean you're not. No disrespect to the guys, because legitimately you can see that they're really trying their best to do, what they can in that ring. But when you saw Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns in their first match, you could tell that there was something special about those guys. Like, you knew that they were all going to be main event players. And maybe these guys haven't gotten that opportunity. I mean, obviously they wrestled, the top guys in NXT, but I don't think that it did them any favors. It didn't really go. It didn't make anybody say, okay, well they beat Oba and Trick and Javon. Like, it was just like, okay. Where on the other lines, Dean the Shield beat Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. I mean, say what you will about Ryback, but Daniel Bryan and Kane were like the 2 biggest superstars at that time. And
because
2 of the biggest wrestlers.
Because the story of that was more of the distrust and dysfunction of the 3 of Javion, Oba, and Trick, because they all been beating each other's asses for the belt.
Right.
So that was more of the storyline than the cohesion of Dark State. So it made it just of course you won because they all don't like each other.
No,
but had they done it like individually, I could see your point. Like had they beat If Oba took the pin, maybe that would have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Javion taking it is like, okay, it's Javion.
No disrespect to Javion.
No. No, not meaning it in a disrespectful way, but he was like the weak link of the group, if that makes of that tag time. So not knocking his talent, just saying he was the mark.
I think what you're getting, but the right way to say it is, people expected Javion to take the pin, and he took the pin.
Exactly.
All right. To my rating, I give it a 2. It was an okay match. The wrong person won, in my opinion. Lola Vice wasn't in it. Next.
Of course. Was Lola Vice in it? No. Next match.
Right. We got TNA Knockouts World Championship match. Ass by Elegance, with Hetero by Elegance and M by Elegance. And the personal concierge defeated JC Jane to the beat. Hey, you don't even have to move your feet. With Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix and Masha Slamovich. Yeah. Asked by Elegance defeated JC James and Masha Slamovich. There you go. I think that this was a good match that told a story really well with the time that it had. I would say that I was disappointed JC lost, especially to Asked by Elegance. But again, it kind of just plays to the story. The cracks are starting to show in Fatal Influence. Asked by Elegance obviously taking advantage of that, and obviously Masha is just a woman on her own island with literally no friends in all of this. So it again, disappointed JC lost, but everything really was cohesive with this match. That all made sense. So yeah, I would definitely say that it worked well. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, honestly, it was not gonna be a long reign because it got to the point where JC Jane felt like she was Diana. With Fatal Influence, to me it felt like Diana Ross and the Supremes. Like JC got it, and she thought she's Diana Ross, and all the other girls are the Supremes, and they like, oh hell no. So you take someone who's already unlikable, very beatable, and put her in a situation where she's thinking that she just runs them because she thinks that she's a self-made chick. And it did not work in her favor this night as Ash. And the only thing that threw me off, and I ain't gonna lie to you about it, was the fact that they kicked JC Jane's group out, but Ash by Elegance group was still there. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna kick one out, you might as well kick them all out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but M by Elegance did nothing wrong.
Until the end.
Exactly, when it mattered.
So that means either Fatal Influence, either Nix and Henley were bad homies on purpose, which seems to be the case.
It seems
meaning they were just bad.
It does. It seems like Jasmine
horrible homies.
Jasmine Nick is looking to be a bad homie because she's been bad enough. She's been back-talking JC, and putting part for JC at this point. If JC's a beatable champion, then what does that make Jasmine? Because she usually takes the pin.
I mean, yeah. So, but that's the thing too, because it's one of those things where she just is too big for her britches, and she thinks, and it's classical. It's the classical ego, right? She thinks she's up there, and everyone else is down here. When in actuality, she's more level than anything.
If this is all kind of done to make Jasmine Nyx, a sympathetic babyface, or try and get Nyx on as a babyface, um, I'm sorry to say it, but I definitely don't see it. And if they do try to put Nyx on her own, I do see her drowning rather than flourishing. Um, so I don't know who's going to take that title off of JC. I do think that it's probably going to be in the next couple of months or so, but it being Jasmine Nyx, I don't see that being the case.
I don't think it's going to be Jasmine Nyx, but I think, here's what I think. I think the betrayal of Fatal Influence is going to cause the infighting between Fatal Influence. It's going to be just like a three-way rivalry between them, more so than, Nyx beating JC Jane. Because I can totally see Lola winning the title, and JC's like, where the hell were you guys?
Right.
And that's where it all comes, and that's where it starts, right? That's where the rivalry kicks off.
No, I agree. Um,
Of course, because it's Lola Vice, and you love Lola Vice. We get it. We get it. We got you. Yeah, I
yes.
feel you.
How many stars you give this one?
Honestly, the story made sense. Everything made sense. The downfall made sense. It all made sense. So to me, it made story. I think it's a 4, personally, because it all makes sense. Everything that they did made sense. JC Jane's short title run makes sense because she, once she won it, she got more worried about not losing it and being dominant.
Right.
It made sense for honestly Masha to take the pin, and honestly, congratulations to Dana Brooke. Man, that girl put in work. She finally became a champion, and it's funny because I saw before I jumped on the show, there was a pic that showed her with all the women in NXT, and it was like, finally, they're all. This picture has everybody that's a world champion, and Dana Brooke caught hell, man. She caught some heat, honestly, because people thought she couldn't wrestle, even though she was vehemently trying. And to me, that perseverance paid off for her. So I'm happy for her in that regard.
Yeah, one of the rare instances where a former WWE contracted wrestler doesn't get, a contractually obligated women's title run in TNA.
Yeah, she basically had to get it from the mud. Literally from the mud.
No shade to Dana. Congratulations. Like I said, I was upset that if it wasn't going to be JC, it was going to be Masha for me, but, I digress.
Of course it was going to be Masha. See, look, Masha, Lola, just all of you girls anyway.
But, I mean, Masha is because she's been on the show, so have to support
Of course.
the guest.
Of course we support Masha. We support Masha.
You didn't support Masha at Rebellion.
I was just playing devil's advocate, man.
You were,
I was just trying to get cheap heat.
Okay, no, I actually agree with you. I give this 4 stars as well. Like you said, everything worked, everything made sense. it played to everybody's strengths and everybody's stories, which you don't necessarily see in every match. So yeah, it worked. Um, I don't think Uncle Dave was as favorable as we were.
Wow, you don't say.
I'm gonna say 2 and 7 fifths.
Damn, what the hell? Like,
Really?
you cheating.
I swear I didn't. I'm just that in tune with Uncle Dave at this point.
See, chat, we gonna have to we gonna have to make him do it blindfolded.
Um, we have Blake Monroe defeating Jordan Grace in 12 minutes 47 seconds. Um, I don't know why, but this match didn't really do it for me. And it's not taking anything away from either girl. But I just didn't maybe feel as invested as I necessarily could have been. Um, I also, I will say this: I'm not the biggest fan of Jordan Grace. Never necessarily have been a big fan of Jordan Grace. Um, but
What, Big Mama Pump? No,
I'm starting,
no.
I'm starting to feel, kind of bad for her at this point because how many? She's been on almost every NXT PLE of this year, and she's literally has gotten no W's on them. Um, you know, and if you're going to promote somebody as your juggernaut, and she is aesthetically a great force, I would imagine you would get a couple more W's than you actually have. Um, I could also make the argument that Blake didn't necessarily need the win on her on this occasion. Like Grace could have won, and then Monroe could have gotten her heat back, after the bell rang, or the next night on NXT. I don't know. This just didn't make as much sense to me as it could have. What say you, Kalito? Maybe you saw another
I
match.
mean, no. Well, the only way I can think it would make sense is that if it um because Jordan has been placating to the the bullying and self doubt in herself, right? So it's almost like through either no circumstance of her own or just extremely bad luck that she's heading down that self doubt era, right? Because of the simple fact that we know that if she gets the title, she's gonna be up there in range, right?
Like
So
multiple
I
rings,
think it's
or how
huh?
long she holds it.
Yeah, like as far as like how long she holds it.
Okay.
So I think to me it's almost kind of like the female Sami Zayn route where they want you to be emotionally invested in her to succeed.
I'm sorry to say this, but isn't she too big to have the sympathetic baby face route?
Well, I can see that, but the problem is they've been placating that angle of her childhood a lot. So that tells you that they want you to be emotionally into her along more so than being because she's this specimen. Because if she was just a specimen, she wouldn't be a face. She'd be a heel and just go around whooping motherfuckers' asses.
And I think that might
Because
actually be
because
what.
she's not too far. She's not too far from Oba Femi when it comes to like possibility of physical dominance.
Right. And, I wouldn't necessarily say no to a Jordan Grace heel run. I think that that would actually work a lot better for her in the position that she's in. You know, we could definitely say that NXT compared to TNA is drastically different. The girls are, a little bit more rough and tumble, a little bit bigger, a bit more aggressive on on TNA. So, if Jordan Grace took an L on, you know, um, on TNA TV, you wouldn't necessarily think that it was out of the realm of possibilities because the girls were like I said, more established. NXT though, not everybody. I will say that not everybody, but a lot of these girls are significantly smaller and not as experienced. So it becomes kind of like you were in the ring with her and you couldn't beat her. You know what I mean?
True, but I mean, if they really were going to go that route, they would have already had her dominating.
What?
She would have beat Vakor if that was the case.
I mean, honestly, if they would have, I mean, she would have been the biggest heel in the company if she beat Vakor. I mean, obviously that honor lives in Casey.
Not, I mean, not really, but but the right. I mean, that's my point. If they were going to do it, they would have had made her heel and just been like whooping everybody asses because it would have made sense if she won and had the momentum being this bad guy, not giving a damn what you think, and I'm here for the title. But they're not presenting her in that that frame.
Right.
They're presenting her in the I was so self-doubt about myself and I did all this to get rid of the naysayers, and it's almost where she's kind of still not over the psychological aspect of it, which let Blake win because she played the psychological aspect of it.
She is
If
the
that makes
woman from
sense.
hell.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's my point. I think that's the point I'm making.
I feel like something needs to change in Jordan Grace to kind of get her over this hurdle. She's had some good matches in NXT, but I don't feel like she's broken out as an individual. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's not a fact of breaking out. It's just the fact that she's going to be more. If she gets the belt, it's a wrap.
If she gets the belt.
When she gets the belt.
Until that match happens, how many stars do you give this one?
I mean, it was a 3. It played the psychological warfare. I mean, Blake just outsmarted her. That's pretty much the vibe that I got from it.
I give it 2.5. Alright, Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave.
2 7/5.
Higher. Not that 7/5 today.
3 1/4.
Higher.
3.5.
4 stars.
Okay, what did Uncle Dave see that I didn't?
I told you. It's the stories, man.
Usually Dave doesn't go for stories.
He doesn't, but god damn it.
our next match, Ethan Page and Chelsea Green defeated Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steels in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. This is one of the most bizarre matches I've seen in quite some time.
I was about to say the same goddamn thing. It wasn't bizarre. It was bizarre because of the crowd.
Yeah, like like you're in one of the most Americana states in America, in Massachusetts. You have two, one former Olympic gold medalist, two Olympians that represented America, in the Olympics, and the people are going bananas for the two Canadians.
Because they are popular as shit. Don't mean shit if they popular as shit.
And rightfully
popular as shit.
Needless to say, the crowd did not understand the assignment of this match.
They did not. And I felt bad for Tavion because you could tell he was like, the crowd is not understanding the assignment. His body language was like, why are they not understanding the assignment?
I'm literally dressed in the American flag.
You know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, that is a violation of the United States Code. So before everybody... we actually have a flag code, but for some odd reason, they keep... whatever. But back to what you were saying.
It was a good match. It would have been even better if the crowd kind of understood the assignment. And this is one of the rare occasions where the crowd's reaction actually didn't enhance, but twisted things in such a way that it just seemed like you were watching a romantic comedy with a horror movie soundtrack, if that makes sense.
Well, it's bizarro. Well, but because the problem is that Chelsea's too goddamn popular.
Right. And I mean, not to mention, her alongside Ethan Page has just been like gold at this point. Everything that they've done together. It just adds to everything. It doesn't help that Tyra May Steels is not getting over as a babyface as well. She just genuinely, I look at her and I think heel, not face. And them pushing her as a babyface, especially with the America gimmick, it feels so forced and generic and ungenuine. Like, I want to see her be a bitch. I want to see her say, I'm a fucking Olympic gold medalist, you fucking cheer me. You know what I mean? Like,
While that is true, that is not the attitude that most Olympians go with.
But I mean,
if that makes sense.
But she's not an Olympian anymore. She's a WWE superstar. She's it's a different, atmosphere. I mean, would you say that Kurt Angle should have acted a lot of the ways that he did when he was in WWE?
While I understand the point that you're making, it's just that they thought the problem is they put two people that are trying to be up and coming, and they put them against the most. Even though they're heels, they are popular heels because they have the gift of gab. And to me, that superseded practically everything, to be quite honest.
It definitely didn't do Tavion any favors in this match.
Yeah, it did nobody favors. That's my point. It did. I'll put it this way. It did. Well, how can I put it? The favor was more for it was meant to elevate Tavion, but yeah, he's too popular. Ethan Page is too popular. Chelsea Green's too popular. It just wasn't gonna fly.
And
It was not gonna fly.
while we're talking, like I'm trying to figure out ways where they could have, made this work for, either of them, but I don't know if they actually could. I think that they were kind of doomed from the start, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, the crowd was not understanding the assignment, so it didn't even matter. It's like fuck this. The crowd did not understand. It was like, nope, not gonna happen. I don't give a fuck what you say. We cheering for these motherfuckers right here.
Well, I think despite everything, I do think that the right team won, and I do think that they won in the right way. So at least that was something. Chelsea getting the outside interference into the unprettier, getting the dub on Tyra May, that made the most sense out of everything to me. But what say you?
I mean, it's not the talent fault. It's just, hey man, it just was not working. The crowd was just not going. The crowd was not here for it, if you will.
Like I said, if I was like I said, I was trying to come up with scenarios where things actually maybe, they could turn it around. That could have been the moment where Tyra May was like, "You set up to the crowd, like you should be cheering me. I'm your gold medalist. Get the heat from the crowd."
But that's the thing. You can't you want that, but here's the issue that comes with that is that that'll defeat the purpose of even having the bad guys there in the first place. Because they're already getting cheered, but it's just gonna make them get cheered even more.
Right. I mean, if it's a lose-lose, at least don't look like a complete asshole.
But that's good. But the crowd was gonna take it more asshole-ish. They were gonna just act more asshole-ish. Is my point? That's the point I'm making. Like.
There's clearly all I'll say is this: there's clearly a reason why Jasper Troy is in the position that he's been in on NXT right now. Obviously he's been featured quite a bit on NXT with a couple of high-profile matches, and this is literally Tyra May Steele's second match in maybe like 3-4 months. So it just kind of shows you where the LFG alumni are standing right now.
Well, the LFG alumni are going to be stuck in a bad hole because I still look at this as Tough Enough, and I can't remember the last Tough Enough winner that was just like uberly great. It's always been the people they didn't win.
Right.
that actually can't pan out better.
Oh, always. How many stars do you give this one?
It was doomed to start. The crowd just took it out too. Because I could see them thinking that they were going to win, and they had to call an audible mid-match.
If they actually did do that, kudos to them. I'll give this 3 stars. Bad situation, but the right people won in the end in the right way. So can't knock them for that. Uncle Dave. This is interesting.
Uncle Dave.
This is definitely interesting. 3.25.
Survey says lower.
2.5.
2.5. God damn it, you cheating.
I swear
You're
I'm not
cheating.
I only cheated once, and I told you when I cheated. I'm not cheating.
How dare you cheat, sir?
That brings us to the main event, the last match. Obafemi defeated Javon Evans, I say, to retain the NXT Championship in 17 minutes and 43 seconds. Not gonna lie, this kind of all worked for me. Javion bumped for Oba. Oba, took some bumps from Javon to make him look good. I low-key liked the finish with the low-key dusty finish.
Dusty finish.
Yeah. And I think that this is why they did it. When he got that 3 count, the crowd popped for him. It wasn't necessary.
Like crazy.
Yeah. So I think that Yeah, I think that they did it just to test the waters to see if he would get a pop if he beat Oba. Obviously he did. But yeah, I think that this was just a good match. It was definitely the main event of the night, without a doubt. Good way to end the pretty decent PLE. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, yeah, it was a good way to finish it. Honestly, it also gives Javion a reason to get the rematch, because that's the biggest key. Like, he's been out of it, and he's been like this lovable loser. And I think, I think he actually, it's going to help him. I think he's going to beat him. I think he's going to be the next champ. Because they wouldn't pull that trigger if,
I completely understand what you're saying, but when would you think would be a realistic time to pull the trigger on taking the belt off of Oba?
They're going to have to, because it's a nutrition that he's a champ with no challenger.
And I mean, that's been the story since he's won the title.
Yeah, but the feeler, they wouldn't have done that Dusty if they didn't think about taking it out of him.
But do you want him to go like a year as champion? Do you want him to fall short of that? Like, from their perspective, from their side of things, like, where should Oba fall on that totem pole when it comes to, his reign?
I mean, with him, it's complicated because it's clear that he's dominant. It's just that he doesn't have a roster to dominate.
Right.
unless they give him one last time with Trick. And I, because the closest person to give him hell other than Javion was Trick.
Right.
So, I mean, it's either Trick or Javion at this point. Those are the only two people that you see in the title picture. You got a couple of people here and there, but for the most part, they're not
I mean, Ricky
content.
is.
They're not. They're not a threat in the way. Ricky Starks could, but I, until I see it, because I've seen Javion and the way that they position Javion. Do you think that they would do that with Ricky?
Well, I could see. Like, this is how I could maybe see it going. Ricky becomes a heel and beats Oba for the title. Oba goes to the main roster. Javion and Ricky start, messing with each other.
I mean, you could, but I just.
Do you think that we're going to get a pin? Is Oba going to take a pinfall? That's what I'd like to know.
He would have to,
Unless it's a
because
triple
the
threat.
person that beats. No, because the person that beats him, it. I can't think of a person that lost going up to the main roster, losing the title. The only people that I've seen, go to the main roster as a champion and don't get pinned is when they get stripped. And is Oba in that category? He very well could be, but the problem is that it doesn't give any momentum for the champion. Because you got a bunch of chasers and not a. Because my hypothesis is that if Oba's going up, Trick's going up with him. So it's gonna leave a hell of a void. So you would need someone to beat one of those two.
I feel like, and this is like such a weird thing to say. I feel like when Tripp drops the NXT title, his ass is going on the main roster. He's fully cooked right now. He's fully dialed in. This is the Trick Williams that we need. We'll be seeing him at we'll be seeing him in the Royal Rumble. We might see him in a match at WrestleMania. That's what I think is up next for Trick Williams. Oba, I could maybe see that we see him after the night after Mania. But, that depends on, what actually happens at WrestleMania. Which we're not going to get into.
I mean, true, but it's just I just look at it from that aspect. I just don't see. I mean, somebody's gonna have to beat him. Ricky's talking the game. I just have to see it. Javion was hella close. Trick was hella close, and those are the only two that's been really close.
Right. Well, how many stars do you give this one?
Full disclosure, I do not see Dave's rating on his little list. So either he got high from working that shift for Forbidden Door, so you get a reprieve. But for me, this match was a 4.5 star. Because the style made the fight, and the underdog got the win, albeit he feels like he got gypped. It's kind of like Jada. He loses and he has a reason to be pissed.
Right. Especially considering Ricky kind of inserted himself into the conversation right afterwards.
Yep. and he feels that he's going to have unfinished business.
I give it 4. Everything worked for me. I liked the Dusty finish. I liked what I saw. I wouldn't say that, it was, overly good. But, both guys were, understood the assignment, understood what needed to be done to get over, and they definitely, connected with all of that. And, they told that story well. Alright, and you said Uncle Dave did not, review this match.
He did not leave a rating.
What the
Probably
fuck?
got high.
What the fuck, Uncle Dave? Alright, WWE NXT Heatwave. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I mean, it did what it needed to do. So, I mean, thumbs and not uberly high. I mean, in the middle. Fuck it. The middle. Because it did what it needed to do.
I give it thumbs up. It did what, it entertained me for 3 hours, and, that's what you want in a wrestling show, so, I can't necessarily have any complaints. That will conclude our coverage of NXT Heatwave. And we are wrestling with AEW Forbidden Door. In the middle of our Forbidden House. In the middle of the Forbidden Street. Forbidden Street lights. Forbidden Street people. Down the Forbidden Boulevard. Forbiddenly. It took place in London, England, at the Aqua Arena. 18,992 in attendance. A pretty significant amount of attendance for AEW. So, I mean, their TV isn't doing well at all, but, at least these paid previews is, selling out and doing quite well. I believe this was an attendance record as well. So yeah. I'll say this. This was one of the rare occasions where I actually watched almost all of the show completely through. And I have to say, I was mildly entertained, and it
Look at you.
It wasn't as unbearable as it usually is. Maybe because I was doing other things while I watched it. My attention wasn't completely on the show.
Man, how dare you? You're just...
But I'll say this. I watched the full regular show, and then I stopped at the lights out match, took it off, knew what that was going to be, came back to it the next day because, it was what it was. But I'll leave that at that right now. What say you, Kaliko? What was your thoughts on the show as a whole?
I mean, people complain. AEW, I might as well bring a lunchbox because this shit be like... They need to charge me time and a half. I need to start charging them time and a half. Seriously, because god damn it.
4.5 hours. If you watched the pre-show, it was 5.5 hours.
I mean, just saying, it's a lot. They got us though. They got us.
Is that the definition? The definitive end of your opening statements?
Bro, I mean, AEW, we put in work. Bring a lunch pail. You know what's funny? This portion of the show should be sponsored by Minute Maid. Minute Maid. Time to bring the juice, ooze.
Well, I mean, if WWE wasn't already the sponsor, then maybe they could have gotten it. But that's what it is.
Well, I only say that because the drink of the night is Minute Maid spike punches, and I'm looking at them like, why the fuck did they not put this in their commercial? So I'm sitting at home telling myself, watching AEW, time to bring the juice, ooze.
Sounds like you wasn't watching this. Your full attention wasn't on the show as well.
Hey, I mean, well, you can watch it, but Jesus, it's a work shift, man. Especially considering that, like, heading into this show, I kind of had an idea of who was going to win what.
It was very predictable.
Yes, and you know what we didn't go over? As I say this,
What?
Takashita, G1 winner. What did I say? He did not fly all the way to Japan.
Yes, you did.
From Don Callis. Don Callis did not send him all the way there to take these L's.
Well, that brings us to the first match, and that is Adam the Copeland coping with his friendship with Christian Cage match. They defeated Killswitch and Skip Sabian in 13 minutes 45 seconds. Definitely not a terrible opener, if I'm being honest. Edge and Christian back together. That's fun, and it's was it
trying to work the kinks out, working the kinks out.
right? I mean, was it all 5-second pose Edge and Christian? Absolutely not, but I still think that it worked, and considering that this was supposed to be Damian Wayne instead of Killswitch, they made the best out of what they had, and still delivered a semi-decent match with jabroni jobbers.
That is true. That is true, and it showed that even though Edge and Christian are together, they still got those pesky little issues.
Right. So there was.
It's not all the way live. You still got to work some kinks out.
It was case in point. Edge tried to hug Christian after the match, and Christian pushed him away. So.
Like, get the fuck off of me. Gave him that Marshawn Lynch push. Get the fuck off me.
What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, good opener. I can't complain. It basically were two grumpy old men trying to get it back together. And they slowly but surely are trying to get it through.
How many stars you give this one?
I mean, 3. Good opener. Pretty decent.
I agree. This was a 3-star match. Okay. Uncle Dave. I'm gonna say Uncle Dave gave this at least a 3.5.
3.5. What the fuck? You cheat. You cheat, man.
I am not cheating, man.
Oh
well. AEW TNT Championship match. Kyle Flatulence defeated Hiromu Takahashi in 14 minutes 40 seconds. We were asking where the fuck is Hiromu? Taking L's to people that he has no business being in the ring with.
What? Is that a good week? I don't know if you're saying that condescendingly or complimentary.
Complimentary towards Hiromu. He has no business being in the
Okay.
Kyle Fletcher has no business being in the ring with a talent the magnitude of Hiromu
Okay,
Takahashi.
okay. I was about to say Hiromu is the guy, man. Don't
But
give me. We
more,
love Hiromu on this.
more or less taking L's to this guy. Um, but he was, and it did, and it is what it is. I feel like, Hiromu is such an intense competitor, and I didn't really feel the intensity in the match. It just was kind of plain. It did no, the match did no favors because there was no, it was predictable. I don't think there was ever a moment that I was watching the match where I thought, oh, well, Hiromu's definitely going to win this match, or Hiromu has a shot of winning this match. And that's never a good thing.
That is true. However, it's just one of those things where it's like he just. I kind of hate the fact that he got put into this. It's a horrible situation because I think if he had someone he trusted, he would easily go a little harder. And that's where I have the problem because if you trust somebody, he's all go.
Right. All gas, no brakes.
And yeah, got it. I mean, anyways, but it's just the trust factor, and that's the one thing about AEW because these matches are dream matches, but I don't think that they get enough time to feel each other out.
Right.
And get comfortable with each other. It's basically like an indie pay-per-view that they were like, all right, we're just going to put this shit together.
Right. Who's Hiromu Takahashi? Well, you're going to find out in like 10 minutes when you wrestle him.
Exactly. And then the language barrier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
How many stars you give this one?
I finally got to see Hiromu, so 3.5 because he's alive and still kicking. Now he just needs to move to heavyweight.
No longer on the milk carton.
Bro, you ain't lying.
I give it 2.5. I love Hiromu, but this was not it. The intensity was off. The predictability was too intense. There was really no story attached to it. There was nothing to kind of sink my teeth in, so to speak. Alright, Uncle Dave.
Oh, you don't even want to know.
4.
Higher.
4.5?
4.5.
Okay.
Told you he's high on Fletcher.
Oh yeah. He might be his new favorite boy toy at this point.
I'm not your boy.
Especially considering Osprey's going to be off for a while. Right,
And Swerve. Shit. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's right. 4-way match for the AEW That Bitch Show Championship. Mercedes.
Next.
No thoughts on Bonezilla or Persephone?
I mean, Persephone, yes. What a woman. But we knew who was winning this match.
Oh, yeah.
You knew who was winning this motherfucking match. I don't know why we acting brand new.
But it did make me feel less for Persephone that I did know. But, yeah, all I have to say...
Yeah.
All I have to
It is
say,
what it is.
all I have to say is, Shawn Michaels, if you're listening to if you listen to the show, hire Persephone. We need her in the bakery.
Oh yes, man. But I think she's so loyal to CMLL. So I mean, hey,
Give her whatever she wants.
she good for it. Give her what she wants.
All right. We got Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Nigel McGuinness to retain the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in 17 minutes. The match was fine. I mean, it was. You have two really good wrestlers in there wrestling, technically. So it's not going to be good. But doesn't change the fact that Nigel McGuinness is a semi-retired pro wrestler that's doing commentary for AEW. And
gets a title shot. Yes, no, it's just me.
Right. And Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the top competitors in one of the biggest promotions in the world.
50-50? Well, he wasn't going 50-50 with this one. This was more like 95-5. 99-1, if you say.
Right. So, I mean, that, like I said, for the last match, it's hard to get invested when you know the outcome. I felt like there could have been like a really good little story there because Daniel Garcia was outside, like there could have been some fuckery that Daniel Garcia, screwed, Nigel, and then, at least there was a reason that Nigel lost the match rather than he just straight up lost the match. But I digress. What say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean it's the same, but it gives Daniel because of course Garcia the whole thing is going to go to Garcia and McGuinness, and Fletcher was not Fletcher but 50-50 was just a beneficiary.
Just coming through town.
Coming to the town, just collecting the check.
You want me to wrestle the commentator? All right. You want him to win? That don't work for me, brother.
Unless I get the get back, or he gets the win and then he loses 50-50.
No job.
But he ain't even going 50-50 with this one, so that's.
How many stars you give this one?
I mean, it's Zack Sabre Jr. He looks good. He better keep a high on the swivel because I got a feeling that Take a Shit is about to go to Wrestle Kingdom as the champion. So 3.5.
3. It was good wrestling. Could have been a better story attached to it. 3. Alright, Uncle Dave. 4.5.
You cheating, dude. Like, you fucking cheating.
I'm dialed in on Uncle Dave and what he likes and how he likes it.
I mean, it is what it is.
G-Way Tag Team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Brody Burger King, and Bandito defeated the Outsy Business, Robert Lashley and and Benjamin Shelton, and Fuck the Revival, Cass Wheeler, Dax Hardwood with Stokely in 15 minutes 30 seconds. If there was any other outcome, I would probably say that was the right way, but this was the only outcome that made completely and utterly no sense to me. But then, when you read, the dirt sheets online and the rumor and the innuendo that, MVP doesn't want the Hart Syndicate to lose to FTR or you know the Karate Guy, a Speedball, or you know only specific people can beat the Hart Syndicate. Now this actually makes a lot of sense because Rick Lachey and Tia Leone came and attacked Hart Syndicate, took them out of the match, and then Brodito defeated FTR. It
Yeah,
makes sense if you know what the inner workings of everything, unfortunately. But you know when it's actually on your TV screen, it makes no sense.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but I guess the hurt people was the ones getting hurt. Hurt people hurt people. You see how that works?
They only hurt people
But
to hurt them to protect themselves from being hurt themselves.
I know. Anywho's, um, I don't know what to make of it. I thought it would have been like this thing, but FTR getting the pin or taking the pin. It protects them, and I'm just trying to figure out how much did that have to do with the fact of the whole MJF thing. Um, it seems rather awkward in that regard, but that's just me.
Yeah, no shit. I
So I mean,
yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. We'll see where it goes because eventually the hurt people are gonna want their what's the word I'm looking for?
The revenge.
Rematch. That's the word. The rematch.
And I will go the opposite route of that. Watch between now and all out. Yeah, all out. Watch FTR beat Brodito for those tag titles, and then we'll have FTR versus Edge and Christian at All Out. Because I feel
I will see.
that's what was supposed to happen, and um, Hurt Business said
That's what we're gonna get, brother.
that don't work for us, brother. We know Yab.
We'll we'll get the winner.
Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Maybe Hortick could go move on from this. Maybe they are still in tag team after this. Who knows at this point? Um, and then um, yeah. But FTR is winning those belts. That's something I'm pretty confident is going to happen.
You think they're gonna win it and lose it to Edge and Christian?
100%.
No, yeah.
How many stars you give this one?
3, because it didn't make sense. I mean, the most dominant tag team that they had so far, losing without a trace, and then trying to figure out why they got their rematch. But
I give it 2.5. It made no sense. It, when we say, this was clearly what's going on, but what's going on, behind the scenes. When it translates to the ring, and you could blatantly see that it translated to the ring, yeah, that's not a good thing. So, yeah,
really,
the Hurt Business is hard to work with. They only want to go over certain people, and we saw that pretty prevalently in this match. 2.5. Right, Uncle Dave. I don't think he likes the Hurt Business all that much either, so I'm gonna say he gives it 2.5. No, a 3.5. 3.5.
3.5. And your survey says higher.
4.
A 4.
Okay. I miscalculated that he loves Brodito. Who fucking knew? Um, Now we have Kazuchika Okea defending the Unified Championship and defeating Swivel Strickland in 16 minutes 30 seconds. I actually like this match. Surprisingly. This was actually a good... I think that this was a good Okada match for where he is in his career right now. I think that this was a good Swerve match as well. It obviously told the story of, Swerve, his leg isn't, 100%. Um, he has a torn meniscus, gonna need surgery for that. Still trying to walk the match. But, obviously Okada is, 100% knows that, gonna try and fuck him over. He fucked him over. He, attacked the leg afterwards, so he's going to be out for. It gives a reason why Swerve is going to be out for so long. And he put his hands on Prince Nana as well. So Nana will be out of action as well. Um, Surprisingly, it's one of those rare times that AEW does something where everything works and everything makes sense. So I didn't necessarily have a problem with it. What say you, Jacob?
I mean, yeah, because Swerve was on his way out, so because I guess he's been dealing with a horrible meniscus issue, which is bananas that he's still been working with the damn thing. Um, Tells you everything you need to know about him. And yeah, the match made sense, and actually they kind of worked well together. It was a nice little style. And Okada, of course, has that tendency of wrestling to his level, wrestling to the level of his opponent, but as in being a little bit more arrogant. And of course, he was his usual arrogant self, but he still got enough to get the win.
How many stars do you give this one?
Excuse me, I was drinking my juice ooze.
Drink the juice ooze.
Oh my god, this shit. I don't know. It's like there's it's 8% alcohol. This thing is gonna get you gone. Anyways, 4 stars. First drink all week, Keith, too. Man, that must be.
I couldn't agree more. 4 stars. So, if we like this match, then odds are, Uncle Dave loved this match, bro. 4 7/5.
Lower.
4.5.
Lower.
4.
4.25.
4.25.
Now we know you're not. Now we know you're not cheating. There you go.
Or maybe I purposely didn't get it right just to throw you off.
Lie. You might be right.
We have AEW Women's World Championship match. Timeless Tony Storm defeating Athena in 15 minutes 15 seconds. Good match, honestly. This was one of Tony Storm's better defenses, if I'm being completely honest. Athena definitely brought a great intensity to the match. Yeah, if you thought that anybody but Tony Storm was going to win this match, you were probably high on crack. But, I mean, Billy Starks was in it. She got, attacked as well. Love Billy. So that kind of added to my enjoyment of the match as well. All in all, I think that this kind of worked for me. I liked it. What say you, Kaliko?
I really thought Athena was gonna win. I'm disappointed.
So you were high on crack.
I mean, I could always hope, right?
I mean, yeah, we can hope, but in the words of Kane, hope is what the desperate hold on to.
Wow, that is true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I really thought she could have had a one, but just brokenhearted. Next.
Well, how many stars you give it first? Let's rate it properly.
I won because she lost. Next. No, just
I will give this 4 stars. Athena was a great challenger. She made Tony Storm look good. Tony Storm made her look good. And fucking Billy Starks was in the main women's championship match. Uh, like I said, everything worked for me. Um, Uncle Dave gave this 3 7/5.
Uncle Dave. You said 3 7/5.
Yep.
You cheat, man.
All right. I'm dialed in on with Uncle Dave.
You cheat, brother.
That brings us to the AEW World Championship match. If Adam Page is counted out or disqualified, MJF would win the title. Hangman Page defeated MJF in 31 minutes 40 seconds. I will admit I am not a fan of either guy. I don't. I wasn't necessarily invested as much as I could be. That being said, I didn't think it was a bad match. I thought that there was some unnecessary things in it. Most AEW matches have that, but I don't think that took a it necessarily affected the overall story of the match. Obviously Page is trying not to get disqualified. MJF is trying to get him disqualified. There's shenanigans, there's Gaga. Hangman doesn't get disqualified, even though he does a little, underhanded deeds to get the best of MJF. It all worked. I think that if this was the last match on the show, which it was supposed to be, it should have been, this would have been a really great way to end the show. It made Hangman Page look like a good champion. It made MJF look like the dirty, rotten heel that he is, that you could absolutely believe that he could have won the match. It did kind of seem like a proper main event and the last end match of a show. So I thought it was good. What say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, but then again, this is like two of their current Titans. So the 50-50 shot was really there to the end. The right person won in Hangman, considering that they just got him the belt. So he needs, and the thing is too, he never really had a really good run with it. And him getting MJF out of the way gives him the clear runway to take on everyone else without having to look behind his back. So yeah, it made sense.
How many stars do you give this one?
4. I give it a 4. Because it's two Titans, you really couldn't tell who was going to win. Although you kind of had a inkling of who could have won, but,
I will say that this was a 4-star match, but considering that I don't like either guy in the match, 3.5.
Oh Lord.
And I'm gonna say that Uncle Dave gave this 4.25.
4.25. Higher.
4.5.
Higher.
4 7/5.
4 7/5.
Couldn't go that extra mile to give it 5, but I digress.
He has to save his thighs for what really matters.
And I'm assuming that's the main event. His Lola Vice of pro wrestling. Like I said, if the Hangman Page and Adam, if the Hangman Page and the MJF match was the last match, I would have been okay with this paid preview as a whole. But knowing AEW, they just had to keep going. And what did they have to keep going to? A lights out
Gummy bears.
A lights out steel cage match, the Golden Orgy, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Debbie Allen, fucking Hiroshi Tanahashi for some fucking reason, and Will Ospreay. They defeated the Death Riders, Claudio Ida Cannoli, neo-Nazi Moxicillin, the Young Fucks, and Gabe Kidd, with Marina and Saphir and Third Wheeler Yuta on the outside in 32 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah.
Anarchy in the arena.
If I had to say one thing positive about this match, at least they left all of the stupid bad shit for the very last match, because usually they blow their load like a couple of times in the night with, a ladder match, a hardcore match, an ambulance match. This was the only, hardcore match on the whole show, and only like 2 other people bled the whole entire night. So I will give AEW that. They show constraint for, as much as they could hold out. And then they just...
Well, it's New Japan, and we know New Japan ain't trying to bleed for nobody.
Yeah. Tanahashi, no bleed. Some people know, Tanahashi, no bleed.
He does wrestle, though. 96 matches in his final year. John Cena's schedule light compared to that. even though he's like walking decrepit out there, but hey.
Hey, I feel like Tanahashi had a lot more matches, a lot more injuries than John Cena has.
Well, that's because he's too big. He try to go hard. He too big try to go hard.
And he go hard.
He go hard.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
This was as I like to say, a clusterfuck of what the fuck. It was. There was fucking gummy bears, which was fucking stupid.
Like I said, gummy bears, and I'm a gummy bear.
Yeah.
No, like that. No.
I only like my gummy bears on what's it called? Robot Chicken. Those are my only gummy bears.
Oh, that was a good skit. But gummy bears and vodka. But
of course,
but it has to.
Want your gummy bear spiked.
But gummy bears and vodka. But you also gotta have Albanese. You can't have any other gummy bear. If you're gonna put gummy bears, they better be like the Cristal of gummy bears.
I'm sure that Tony pulled for the high-profile gummy bears.
Oh
Um,
no, I'm a gummy bear snob, so that's the problem. Like them bitches look like hair bros, and I was about to fight. Like
so wait a minute. This is an actual thing. You
what? Gummy bears?
you being a gummy bear facade?
Oh hell yeah! Because some people like Haribo gummies, and I can't stand Haribo gummies because I feel like when I chew them, I get lockjaw, and I'm like, what's the point of a gummy bear if it's not gummy? I shouldn't have to break my teeth trying to chew a gummy bear. So there's only one specific brand, and it's the Haribo.
Okay. So
It's got it. Oh, no, 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 not Hair Bros, but it's got to be Albanese. Albanese gummies for the win. Nothing more, nothing less. I only eat the finest gummy bears.
okay. Well, now you know. If the gummy bear spot didn't turn you off, then John Moxley trying to rip Darby Allin's ear off with a fork definitely did. That was fucking disgusting. You know, I don't. When you watch a horror movie, like you know that it's fake, but Darby Allin looks like a horror movie, and it becomes a thing of this isn't a pro wrestling match. This is just two people, self mutilating themselves. Not for the people's enjoyment,
Yes.
but for their own enjoyment. Because
Hmm.
why would you want to do that to yourself if you didn't necessarily enjoy it? It's fucking stupid. It's not pro wrestling. And shame on Tony Khan for
Letting a fork go in somebody's ear.
yes, for allowing this type of behavior. And while I'm on the topic of shame on Tony Khan for letting
Damn.
JR still announce, um, and especially announcing this stupid shit. I mean, JR does not look good. JR looks um, very sickly, does not look healthy. If he is healthy, congratulations. He's had a lot of health issues. I wish him nothing but the best. But JR does not even look like JR. JR does not even sound like JR anymore. And putting him in that position the way that he is, in my view, is just disgusting on Tony Khan's part. Maybe do some backstage segments with him. Maybe do something where he's on a Zoom call or something. But don't have him fly all the way to England to call stupid shit like this, and to make this well respected, one of the greatest announcer of all time, announce this. Fuck you, Tony Khan. Like legitimately.
What? I mean, he's paying them. Maybe Jim wants to call it.
Do you honestly believe that JR wants to call this shit? That
Yeah.
in the twilight of his career, he wants to be calling lights out death matches with the Golden Lovers.
Um, considering his, considering what he's been through, he just got wants to do whatever the hell he wants to do. Let's put it that way.
Well, what say I said a lot of shit. What say you about the match?
I know, man. Damn, you out here cussing everybody catches strays with you, sir.
Yes.
But but I mean, the fourth thing, it just had me like, why? Like, what purpose does it serve?
Right.
Um, it. I mean, I guess it's Moxley kind of getting his receipt on Darby in a way, but even then, it's like, yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
You know, there's a difference between um, making people feel uncomfortable, or making people turn away, like, oh, ew. And there's it's a completely different thing of turning people completely off, especially if you're maybe a new viewer, or maybe somebody that's checking out the product. Who knows? Maybe for the first time. That, to me, will turn more people off than bring them into the company to want to watch the company.
But what did I tell you? We told you this years ago. They're at their floor.
Right.
So it's not like, I mean, at that point, it's for the people that actually came to see it and go, at least it's not WWE.
You're not wrong. You're right about that.
So it's like, why would I be upset about something that I kind of know is coming?
True.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. But oh well.
Did you like the match, or did you not like the match?
I'm indifferent with it because when it comes to these type of matches, it's like essentially calamity. If it wasn't for like anarchy in the arena, they have that thing, so it's kind of like it's basically a steel cage version of that to me.
What? Yeah, but I felt
And they brought Tanahashi in there to get his ass kicked like that before he goes out.
I would maybe have felt better about the match if the Death Rider, if this was the death of the Death Riders, as it should have been. But after the match, they came back in, they attacked Will Ospreay, sent them out on a stretcher. Obviously, storyline purposes, a way to get him get him off TV. He does legitimately have two herniated discs in his back, and it's going to need, surgery. I believe it's in his neck, not his back. So yeah, what was the purpose of the match if the bad guys were only just going to come back and still do bad shit to the baby faces? And it's not, the Death Riders isn't over. They didn't disband. They're still a thing.
You really thought the Death Riders were gonna end?
Well, I mean, how much longer is it going to go? How far could they take it?
As long as Moxley wanted to go.
Unfortunately, you're not wrong about that. Alright, so, how many stars do you give this one?
It don't even matter. It's indifferent. Because you already know Meltzer gave this 5. So.
Yes.
Because it's Will Ospreay.
Yep. Is it?
And the Young Bucks.
Was it just a plain 5, or was it higher than a 5?
I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't higher than a 5, but
okay, so it was just a 5.
It is a 5.
And I give it a 1. We are not the same, Dave. We are not the same.
Not the same at all, sir. Bad homie.
Bad homie, yes. The show as a whole. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I brought my lunch, so I didn't have to starve to death. So it was cool. Thumbs in the middle to me, because it was basically just a bunch of dream matches coming to true. A couple of storylines in there that pushed it, but other than that, it's just basically their Russell Palooza. Go figure. Pun intended.
If you have the show as a whole without the lights match, the last match, the lights out, and if it had ended with Hangman and
Hangman and MJF.
this could have potentially been a thumbs up. For sure a thumbs in the middle. But considering bad how bad of a taste that last match left in my mouth, thumbs down.
Well, it's weird that they put. Well, then again, never mind. They did do Anarchy in the Arena as the end all to the other matches. So yeah, never mind.
Yep. Right. That will conclude our coverage of AEW Forbidden Door. And that will conclude this episode as a whole. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Ref DC. This Wednesday as we interview Jay Alexander. And join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesShane993. Where can we find Kaliko?
Ooh. Is this where I get to drop my announcement? Ooh. Apparently so. So, I am Kaliko, of course, on X, or that thing known as X. And of course, if we've been trying to figure out, well, gee, Kaliko, you've been having these Kaliko Chronicles, but you ain't been popping no videos. What the fuck's going on, sir? Why you ain't... What's going on? How come I ain't got no Kaliko Chronicles videos? Well, I am pleased to announce that I have been working in the weeds in the last, week and a half, and I have officially launched the Kaliko Chronicles YouTube channel in association with Wrestling with E. I have already loaded up a couple of videos for the viewing. Of course, the best of Lucha Vavoom. Starting with Lucha Vavoom, and we will work our way backwards. So yeah, Kaliko Chronicles is official with, Cole, Coleko Chronicles. Boom, look at that. Look at me.
Kaliko Chronicles
look at me.
Already taken?
I just decided to do it different with a K. I mean, I could switch it. Let me see. See, now you got me having to change my shit. Let me see this thing. Already got me changing my shit. Let me see. I think I can get away. If Kaliko Chronicles was taken, we fighting. But then again, See, I gotta wait 9 days, but it don't even matter. COLEKOKRONIKLES. See, I try to be phonetic because I know some people don't spell, and I am one of those people. So
we could definitely check out Kaliko Chronicle YouTube page now.
Oh yes, I'll start sending you YouTube links to some of the videos I already got going. Actually, the video so far that has gotten my best views actually is from AEW 300 when Hangman Page clotheslined Marina Shafir. I guess people like domestic violence. Guess people got a knack for domestic violence. Okay, we'll let that ride.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.